Why did I say that like that? Or some variation of that, right? Generally pops up in your head after a regular conversation for the most part. Totally normal by all definitions of the word. Nothing deep, nothing weird, just regular. You leave and everything feels fine until you're alone. Your door closes to kitchen, car, wherever, and that's when it starts. That's when it kind of kicks in. And then something that you weren't even thinking about before is all you're thinking about now. You didn't need to say all that, and now it sounded weird. You talked too much. Why did you even bring all of that up? And now you're replaying it. I mean, of course, not the whole conversation, but just that one part. The one line, the one moment that you wish you could take back. And nothing actually happened. And let's be clear, nothing actually happened. The conversation ended perfectly fine, but you're still sitting there like you did something wrong. You feel it in your body. That tight feeling, that drop, that something's off and I can't place it. And now it stacks. Shit, did it come off wrong? And now, do I look weird? Did I say too much? And now you're stuck on something that already ended. And again, nothing went wrong here until you got alone with it. You leave and bring it back and run it again. What did you say? How it sounded? How it looked? You're scanning it, not for understanding, but for problem. Because you're not asking what happened. You're asking, what did I mess up? And it's not every conversation. It's the ones that matter. Certain people, certain moments. That's when it hits. So instead of letting it be over, you reopen it. Start adjusting it. What you said, what you should have said, how you should have landed, how it should have landed. And now you're not remembering anymore. You're editing. And now you're not remembering anymore. You're editing. And every version gets worse. You leave and bring it back. Run it again. Wait, what did I say? How did it sound? How did it look? And you're scanning it. Not for understanding, but for a problem. Because you're not asking what happened. You're asking, where did I mess up? Certain people, certain moments, that's when it hits. So instead of letting it be over, you reopen it. You start adjusting it. What you said, what you should have said, how it should have landed. And now you're not remembering anymore. You're editing. And every version gets worse. And it's not really about what you said. That's just where your attention is. The real issue is that you don't know how it landed. And you can't sit with that. Because the second there's a gap between what you meant and how it might have been taken, your brain moves to close it immediately. And not by asking, by assuming. And you don't assume neutral. You assume it went wrong. That it sounded weird. That it came off. That it changed something. And now, you're not replaying the conversation. You're correcting a version of it that you made up. Trying to fix the gap. Trying to control how you were perceived after the fact. And that's what keeps you stuck. Not the conversation. The fact that you don't control what it meant to them. And instead of leaving that alone, you keep going back to try and solve it. Again and again and again. And after a while, it doesn't wait until you're alone anymore. It starts happening right while you're still talking. You're mid-sentence, and part of you is already listening to how it sounds, already checking it, already adjusting it, trying to make sure it lands right. Because now, you're not just talking, right? You're managing yourself while you talk. Half in it, half watching it. And people feel that. Not because they're analyzing you, but because you're not fully there. Your words are, you're not. So it loops. You say something, you question it. You replay it. You try to adjust yourself a little bit more. You trust yourself less the next time. So the next conversation, you're tighter, more careful, more in your head. And after a while, it doesn't wait until you're alone anymore. It starts happening while you're still talking. You're mid-sentence, and part of you is already listening to how it sounds, already checking it, already adjusting it, trying to make sure it lands right. And now, nothing feels clean anymore. Nothing just lands and stays. Everything feels like it needs to be checked again. And now, you call it overthinking, but it's not. You're just going back and trying to control something that already happened. And you can't. So you stay in it long after it's done. Truth be told, you're not overthinking the conversation. You're refusing to be done with it.